I own a lot of games on Steam, 288 to be exact. I'm sure some people will be like, why the hell do you have that many? While others will look at that number and go, pfft, rookie numbers, bro. But to those people, I have just one question. How many of those games have you actually played? Because some people will have hundreds upon hundreds of games in their library, and yet they only play Marvel Rivals. I'm no exception, well, except for the Marvel Rivals part. Out of those 288 games I own, there are 86 that I haven't played as of writing this. That's about 30% of my games, which honestly is slightly better than I was expecting, but that's still kinda crazy. Can you imagine the amount of money I've spent on games I haven't interacted with at all? Well, that's where the idea for this series came from. What better way to make myself play every game I own than reviewing them and trying to rate all of them from 1 to 10? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to play through every game I own, in alphabetical order, and give them a rating. Now, before we get into 5D chess, I have a lot of disclaimers and rules I want to go through to start out this series. I kinda lied with the title. Wait, hold on, don't leave yet! I technically won't be playing all 288 games. I know, but I have a good reason as to why. Some of those games are not for mortal minds, and some of the games I have are just remasters of other games I own, and I don't really feel like playing the same game back to back. As I said earlier, I will be playing through these in alphabetical order. Sort of. The only times I break this rule is to keep a series of games together and in the correct order. Most notable examples are the Tales games, and especially Tomb Raider, so I hope you'll excuse me for not playing Rise of the Tomb Raider before literally any of the others. When I say I'll be playing a game, I specifically mean I'm playing a full playthrough. That means beating the entire campaign if the game has one. If the game doesn't have a campaign, if it's a game I've already beaten before, or if I just can't stand it, I have to play it for at least 2 hours. That's the threshold at which I feel I've given a game a fair shot. I will not be aiming to 100% complete every game because I do not have that kind of time. As far as the reviews go, not all games will be treated equally. I might have a lot to say about some games, while others might barely fill a page in my notes. I'm not even going to try to keep things even. I'm going to say everything I want to about a particular game, no matter how much or little that is, and then move on. I will only be playing the games that I had on my Steam library as of January 1st, 2025. For now, at least. I have to set up some sort of cap, or this series will never end. It probably goes without saying, but this series is exclusively based on my own personal opinions. If you don't like something I say about a particular game, well, too bad, I guess. You can rant at me in the comments if you like. I'll probably read them and laugh at you. If you genuinely want to have a discussion about an opinion, you can put that down there too, I guess. I might read it. I hate IGN number ratings. This isn't high school. A 6 does not mean a game is bad. It just means it's slightly above mid. Anything below 5 is what I would consider bad. And 5s are reserved specifically for games that I just do not give a shit about one way or the other. In the same vein, giving a game a 10 does not mean it's a perfect game. That is physically impossible, and I hate having a number on the chart that is not meant to be used. Instead, 10s are reserved for games that I would consider to be among my favorites, games I'm constantly aching to play again. There will be very few 10s, but when a game gets one, it should be very clear as to why. There will not be a regular release schedule for this series. Episodes will come out when they come out. Because some of these episodes I have to play are dummy long, some episodes are just going to take longer than others to produce. If an episode happens to be, I don't know, Persona, that's going to take a while. So don't be surprised if some episodes take half a year to come out. All other rules are subject to change. Partway through the series, I might completely change my rating system, or I might change what I add to the stats screen, or some other shit might happen, who knows. The important part is I'm mostly doing this series for myself, for fun. Don't think too hard about it. If you like me and the way I do my videos, stick around and have fun. If you get upset because I broke one of my rules or something, or don't like one of my opinions, bro, you gotta get out more. With that long preamble out of the way, I think we can finally jump into 5D chess. So sit back, grab a snack, some water, and whatever legal recreational drug you prefer, and enjoy. Well, this is an interesting start. 5D chess with multiverse time travel is actually a really interesting concept. Take chess, something I'm already bad at, and combine it with time travel and multiversal travel, and get something absolutely fucked. In a video series like this, you might expect the creator to use the first game as an example of showing what criteria they rate games on. Visuals, sound design, music, story, gameplay, etc., etc. And through that example, you can get a feel for what the reviewer prioritizes in games. But this, it's It's fucking chess. What do you want me to say about it? Visuals? Hold on. Let me get a closer look. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that certainly looks like a chess. Sound design and music? Yeah, I'm just gonna put non-applicable. Story, gameplay, yeah, we fucking get it. So if this game isn't a good showing of how I review things, why did I not just do it later? Because 5 comes before 9. Also, it's funny, fuck you. With that out of the way, I don't actually have a whole lot to say about 5D chess. If you're unfamiliar with the game, on the surface, it seems like normal chess. Then it becomes what we in the business like to call some shit. A typical game of 5D chess starts out like a normal chess game, until eventually, one player decides to send a piece to the past. Then the floodgates open to whatever the fuck this is. I really like how there was actual thought put into the way the pieces move through the 4th and 5th dimensions. They don't just statically teleport from one timeline to another. There's actual patterns in the way they move, like in normal chess. For instance, the knight can move in an L shape as normal, or it can move 2 spaces forward and 1 space through time or across timelines. Or it could move 1 space forward and 2 spaces across time. All the pieces move in a way that feels intuitive with the original piece designs. The creator of this game even took time to create brand new pieces. The unicorn, which can move triagonally, whatever the fuck that means. The dragon, which can move along quadragonals. Get it? It's in the name! You can even swap the roles of the king and queen, making it so you lose the game if the queen is lost instead of the king. Rise up, Girl Boss Nation. And there are many more pieces that I still don't understand. Tiny complaint, these descriptions don't help very much. There's this thing called puzzle mode, which is more of a tutorial to show how the pieces work, but I still don't know what the fuck is going on. There is one very important aspect of the game that I feel is not explained very well, and I would like to go over here. Okay, so anytime you send a piece through time, a new timeline is created with that piece in that new position in that new time. Make sense? I sure hope so, because I'm only getting started. Well, when you make that timeline, it's created on your side of the board, and the present bar, this thing in the middle of the screen, is set back to that new timeline. In order to progress the game on your turn, you have to make a move on every board that is on that present line. If you make a new timeline, but you already have 2 more timelines on your side of the board than your opponent, the present bar won't be set back, making the move essentially useless. Whether or not the present will be pushed back by your move is shown by the arrows on the top and bottom of the present bar. If there's an arrow there, you're good. Your move will set back the present bar. If there's not, that's just a waste of time. What the fuck are you doing, man? So you have to be careful about making new timelines too aggressively, as a common strategy, at least in all of my games, is to go back and make new timelines to get out of an unwinnable position. So, though it seems like this game is just an incomprehensible nightmare that is designed to be confusing, it's actually exactly that. But there's a lot of genuine strategy buried beneath the chaos. You just have to have an understanding beyond mortal comprehension. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could put in the time and effort to get really good at this and understand whatever the fuck is happening on screen. However, for me, this game is just a fun, one-off novelty for me and a friend to play every once in a while. One of us will suggest playing it as a joke when we're both incredibly sleep-deprived or inebriated, or both. Then we subject ourselves to migraine for a few hours. Then one of us wins out of nowhere, with neither of us fully understanding why or how. So, time to give the first rating. I'll give 5D chess a 6 out of 10. It is sort of just a novelty for me, but I genuinely really like the concept, and I've had a lot of fun with it. It's also only $6 on Steam, so if it looks interesting to you, I recommend giving it a look.